Thursday show. I'm Vladimir McTavish. I'm live at the Bread and Fringe. Back in London, it's Chase Sodagar.
Yes, there you go. It was me all along. I thought we would just make this as a big reveal that I, in fact, am Vladimir McTavish and I was Dave Chorner. I'm so talented, I can do all of them. Bless you. Welcome back to, yes, the very last Thursday show, weekly Thursday show. We are now going monthly. So what that basically means is we'll have our production meeting pretty much on the Wednesday just before that last Thursday, and we'll try and cobble together a show just like we normally do. It's not just me. Dave, unfortunately, is off. He's doing the gig. I think they've booked Dave Chappelle again, and like his agent's not quite hearing it properly. But anyway, Dave's gone. But we do have Vladimir McTavish live from the Brighton Fringe, so let's bring him back in. So, Vladimir McTavish.
Yes. Hey, I was on the beach a minute ago, and now I'm in a beer garden by the miracle of the internet and pre-recorded inserts in the show. There you go. Hey, Jay. Yeah, I had a bit of a tear in my eye when the opening credits played there. We've been doing this every single Thursday, New Year's Eve, Christmas Eve. We haven't had a night off. And this is the final one. Yeah. Every Thursday since the 12th of November. Yeah, it's something like 8 months.
8 months we've done this. I genuinely, because originally this was only ever going to be for like 4 weeks of lockdown. That fucking game.
I know.
Here we are. We've done everything on this.
We have done every single show, and now and again, Dave Chorner has turned up.
Once or twice.
And the times that Dave Chorner has turned up, now and again, his Wi-Fi connection has turned up too.
We've balanced toilet rolls. We've
and I tell you what, I'm still laughing. I've still got a smile on my face, despite a week of national tragedy that I've waited 23 years to experience.
Yes, there you go. There
we go. We've got to hope something Friday night with a gallant, battling 0-0 draw, and the pertinent number in that is the 0-0 draw, which the thousands of Scotland fans treated as being the greatest victory in our nation's history, which was kind of borne out a bit by losing 3-1 at home to Croatia on Tuesday night. Yes, Scotland's dalliance on the world stage of football lasted but 10 short days.
That golden goal. One goal.
I think all the Scotland fans, team, nation have to take away from the European Championships is a new strain of the virus. After 20,000 Scotland fans descended in London, danced around in fountains, got pissed, skidded around in the pissing rain, hugged each other, sung really loudly at the tops of their voices, paid no attention whatsoever to social distancing, behaved like a bunch of football fans, basically. Yes, so watch this space in the next 2 weeks to find out if we do have the Wembley variant of the virus.
Caledonian variant.
Caledonian variant, or as the BBC will call it, probably, because they're very politically correct about these things now, it will be the Gamma variant, thought to have originated at King's Cross Station. So, well, you know, we live in hope, and we'll be back for the 2022 World Cup in Qatar with 50-degree heat and no alcohol. Yeah, we'll manage to turn that into a rain-soaked party. I don't know how, but we will.
You're at a gig right now, aren't you?
I am at a gig. The gig actually started at the same time as this show. And I'm on stage at that gig at exactly the time that this show ends. So if I at some point make some excuse like having to go, it's because I'm going on stage. Yeah, I'm in the Ruby in Coldine Lane, just outside of Brighton. Gig run by a friend of this show, Mr. Nick Coppin. And a stellar lineup, well, apart from me and Coppin. Marvelous Jen Brister is, and the legend that is Reginald D. Hunter.
Oh, wow. That's a really good lineup, apart from Nick.
It's a very good lineup.
Really good lineup.
It's a bit iffy in the middle, but yeah. And of course, gets a bit iffy right at the start.
I will be in Brighton tomorrow, and we will hang out. We will do stuff.
Yeah, I know. This is the weird thing, and I think probably a lot of people watching the show don't appreciate or realise this, that you and I, despite the fact we've been together every Thursday night since November, occasionally joined by Dave Chawner when he could be asked turning up, we've not actually been in the same room together for 2 years, at least. At least.
It must have been some Edinburgh point somewhere, or if not Brighton many years ago, that we probably met. It's so weird. It's going to be... It's going to feel so weird.
Yeah.
I mean...
Yeah, life is coming back to normal, potentially.
Yeah. This is so weird. I genuinely wish all of our viewers could actually just come with us all to Brighton tomorrow. We just have a massive reunion.
Well, you say that. You say you wish all our viewers could come with us to Brighton. But then I think if they all came, we'd realise how few we've actually got.
Social distancing will not be a problem. Brilliant. No, it's been awesome.
That is the reach of this show on the World Wide Web. We include 20 people from every continent on the planet. Nothing wrong with being niche. I mean, niche is the new mainstream, as some pretentious article said. I can't remember who.
It's going to be so much fun. We're moving monthly.
Yeah, we are moving monthly, and when we do the show monthly, we are hoping to do the August show from the Edinburgh Fringe.
Yes. There is light at the end of the tunnel. A fringe may be happening.
The Edinburgh Fringe will be happening. We're not sure how big it will be, but it looks as if venues are going to be able to have more than 20 people in, which is basically what has been the situation.
That's my audience.
I know. Well, that's the thing, isn't it? Well, get this, right? This is my second visit to the Brighton Fringe in the last year, because the 2020 Brighton Fringe was postponed until October, and I came down to do my show in October. The capacity of the room was meant to be 50. It got cut to 25, and then it got further cut when further restrictions came in the autumn, and my audience capacity for my October show was 14. And you know what? I didn't sell out. You think, 14? How can you...
Yes, absolutely. Christy saying yes, August.
Yes, and Christy. Well, Christy says that, but Edinburgh Fringe isn't Edinburgh Fringe without Christy Shields coming all the way from Melbourne. Actually, and seriously, she does year on year. This is why she's such a big fan of this show. Why she gets up at 5 o'clock in the morning is because every year, most years, she has got on a plane and travelled halfway around the world to watch people like us doing comedy. And that is what is so fantastic about what we do. And we're getting a bit sentimental here now, but it is good that, we've been able. Yeah, I know. It is the last show we're allowed it. But it is, and we have missed those connections, haven't we, Jay? We've missed those connections, not just with one another, but with audiences in a room. And now we're back to having audiences in a room. I don't know about you. I've actually found out, the one thing I hadn't realised through doing these online shows, I actually hadn't realised how little I like people. I had people in the front row of my show at the weekend, and I thought, oh, fucking rude. I got a great heckle actually. It wasn't a heckle, it was actually quite a useful piece of advice I got from the front row of my audience on Sunday. I was at the Monkey Barrel in Edinburgh, and they do, because their capacity is so reduced, they've got I think full is 28. That's sold out. They sell out to 28. And so we did a show at 5 o'clock, a show at 7 o'clock, and a show at 9 o'clock. And we still didn't get as many people as they still couldn't get as many people in the club as they could before the club had to shut. And so because it's 28, you kind of, by the end of the show, you kind of get to know the whole audience, because the compere probably has talked, because they're in bubbles of 2s and 4s and things like that. So the compere probably, over the course of the show, talked to every single person in the room. So by the time I went on, I was closing the show. By the time I went on, I kind of felt I knew everybody. I knew virtually everybody's name in the audience. And I think that sense of, them knowing us was reciprocated. So they kind of felt they knew me, because and to the extent that the guy in the front row pointed out my fly was undone.
You know where he was looking.
Exactly. And you know what? It was. And I did what any professional comedian would do that in those circumstances, and thanked him very much and did it up.
But the question is did you do it for all 3 shows or just that one? Did you?
Well, the thing was, you forgot what show you were on. It was all right doing a spot. It was all right doing a 20-minute spot, because you kind of got on, could remember what you hadn't done that night. Whereas for the compere, it must have just been bloody. They must have been trying to remember which show they were in. But,
We've got
have had people in the front row pointing out that their fly was undone. Bob Slayer being one of them. And it was quite obvious when Bob Slayer's fly was undone, because his cock was hanging out.
Just a very quick Edinburgh story. I remember Bob Slayer. Start of the show. If anyone doesn't know who Bob Slayer is, just this anarchic comic. He just goes mad. Whatever goes. And he popped a Viagra at the start of the show. Right? I don't know whether you've heard this story. He popped a Viagra at the start of the show, and then he invited a nurse from the audience to give him a rectal examination. He got a raging harder.
Really?
And I worry about an hour of material.
I think stories like that about comedians' behaviour means us responsible, non-harassing members of the industry should form a hashtag Me Neither movement. I've never done anything like that.
Oh, brilliant. So, we've got a packed show.
We have. No, should we tell people how they can pay to watch this?
Let's do that. No, there's every week we do this.
Got me Free Fest Online. That's it. Quite simple.
That's it. And because this is the last one, blowout. Go for it, whatever it is, because you've got a whole month to save up for the next one.
Yeah.
Anything you give is hugely appreciated.
Yeah. And the person who donates the most gets to give next month's guest a rectal exam.
Perfect.
Talking of which, our first guest.
Yes. Now this guy sometimes sounds like he's having a rectal exam while he's talking. But I'll let you introduce our good friend.
Yeah, I've worked with this guy all over the world. He's from all over the world as well. And he's currently actually in quarantine in a hotel on entering the UK from an amber list, or it might even be red list country. I'm not quite sure, but he's had to quarantine for 2 weeks. He's sent in a video of him on stage. So here's what he's like. He's a marvelous LJ Defunct. He's been on the show before, but if you've seen him before, you know how good he is. If you haven't, well, this is what he's like.
Accused me of ogling the women. I said, I was not ogling them. I was just trying to see how you use those machines. He said, come on, buddy. You now know those showers of self-explanatory. Accused me of performing oral sex on a goose. I said, you got the wrong end of the stick. I was not performing oral sex on a goose. I just like raw. Anyway, contrary to what I said earlier, I found myself some love. I got myself a new lady. My new lady is pretty cool. Me and my new lady have come to range. We made a list of 5 people we'll have to fuck if we ever meet them. I listed the 5 women I've fucked.
Please, a welcome from wherever you are, on your sofa, in your house, whatever. Put your hands together. Not that he's going to hear it, but it's the marvelous LJ Defunct.
Good evening. How is everybody?
Well, good. It's good to see you're coming to our shows, because I know you've got shows this weekend, and
I'm in your shows, but I have to quarantine.
well, so I hear. Yeah.
I'm in a travel lodge.
Oh, poor you.
You see, poor fucking me. There's nothing.
None. Well, there's Lenny Henry.
Oh, it's Lenny Henry. Nothing more than Lenny Henry. They say there's a continental breakfast, but they do not specify which continent. I suspect Antarctica.
So, how long have you been there? Have you been there for like 2 weeks, or is it?
I've been here for 10 days. I ain't left the room.
Right, good.
Smelly. Very smelly. I'm in Loughborough. Do you know you is from Scotland? You would not know Loughborough. But the English motherfuckers, they would know Loughborough.
I do know.
Bad.
Yeah. I have had the misfortune of being to Loughborough, and it's not the most interesting part of the UK, as you've found out over the last 2 weeks.
It's pretty fucking bad. Also, if you was in the travel lodge, it's even worse. I said, is there a hill town? You know what they said? They said no.
Right. I think I can top that. I actually was on tour in a play, and it was one cast member's birthday, and we were on the road, and we had to stay the night in a travel lodge in Middlesbrough. Now, if you've never been to Middlesbrough, I can tell you it is worse than Loughborough. Of all the boroughs.
All the boroughs is bad, but Loughborough's got to be the worst. You know, in the hotel, they said there is a steam-free shower. You know why it's a steam-free shower? Because there's no fucking hot water. Bullshit. I'm used to staying on the bayou in Alabama. I expect I'm a tropical act. When you have a fringe festival in your shitty little UK. I was going to say England, but you was from Scotland. When you have
well,
a fucking fringe, people like me should be tropical. We should be treated with respect. We is treated like shit.
So you get out tomorrow.
What?
Are you're checking out tomorrow, and you're at liberty in the UK?
Well, thankfully, I am checking out of my Travelodge tomorrow, as you say, and I'm moving down to enlightened Brighton.
Yeah.
Well,
Much
actually,
better.
I'm staying just outside of Brighton in Hassocks. I'm staying at the Hassocks Novotel. I like a Novotel. You don't get this Travelodge shit at a Novotel. I'm looking forward to this Hassocks.
Well, yeah. I'm very much envious of you staying in Hassocks. Because in all the times I've ever come down to Brighton and I've got the train from Victoria, I have never seen anyone get on or off at Hassocks.
That's because the train from Victoria doesn't stop at Hassocks, so they would be dead. But if you get the Thames link from the St. Pancras, you would see all the St. Pancras motherfuckers getting on and off at Hassocks.
Ah, right. Well, it must have been on the St. Pancras train then. I bow to your superior knowledge of the UK rail network.
I don't know much about the UK rail network, but I know about Hassocks.
So you are doing a show at the Brighton Fringe.
I am.
Yeah. So am I. What time is yours on?
I don't know. What time is noon? What is noon? Well, I don't know what noon. We don't have noon in Alabama.
Right.
My show ain't even on at noon. Right. No, I'm doing 7. Shit, I don't know. 7 p.m.
Oh, 7 p.m. Yeah.
1900 hours in the military.
Yeah, I'm on at 7 p.m.
Is your show my show?
Yeah,
it's the same show.
Yeah, we've been
doing a double act.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we're doing one now. Yeah, I'm at the Carolina Brunswick. Don't know who she was, but there you go. She had a pub named after her. So I'm assuming you're 7 p.m. somewhere else.
I'm 7 p.m. at the Quadron. As a French motherfucker say, as the English motherfucker say, the Quadrant.
Very nice room.
Very nice room. It's got a lampshade and a sofa.
So I've seen your shows before. They're surprisingly erudite. I say surprisingly erudite. Don't take that the wrong way. But
that is a backhanded compliment.
Well, it's better than a backhanded insult. But they are incredibly erudite. They're incredibly well thought out. And they always have a theme to them. So what's the theme you've got this year? Is it because you have done stuff that is about issues that are important to you? I wonder what issue is important to you this year that you want to get out, talk to the public, because it's been a strange year. So you want to get out there, talk to the public, and get it off your chest about what you really feel important to you over an hour. So what is this show about?
Well, obviously, as you have said, I'm very interested in highly important political issues. And that is why this year I've decided to do a show about testicles.
Oh, right.
No, I'm joking. I done a show. It's called Conspiracy Motherfucker. It's about how I, LJ Defunct, believe the coronavirus is a scam and that is a setup by Bill Gates and 5G and all that bullshit. But actually, it's a very clever satire about dumb fucks.
Right, yeah.
Featuring Ruth Maddock.
Yeah, because there are some people who genuinely believe that the whole COVID is a conspiracy, don't they?
Yeah, and there are some people who genuinely believe that Ruth Maddock is dead, and the Venn diagram of those motherfuckers is a single circle. How does it all tie together? I don't know. Pay £6, come and see my show.
Yeah, because Ruth Maddock, we did find this out, didn't we? Because I'm not giving away anything here when I say you've been on the show before. And you did raise the issue about whether Ruth Maddock was alive or not. And with the benefit of Google, audience members were able to get in touch with us because we both thought she was dead. And audience members were able to get in touch with us with the heartwarming news that Ruth Maddock is still alive. So
well, I did not think she was dead. I was playing with some playful comedy hijinks. Often, because my act is so deadpan. Many times people do not understand I is tooting around with some comedy hijinks. So yeah, I is well aware Ruth Maddock is not dead yet.
Well, we may ask people to get in touch between now and 9 o'clock, if they know one way or the other whether Ruth Maddock has died since you were last a guest on this show, which, you know, is possible.
I would love it if we got Ruth Maddock on the show proclaiming her livitude. Livitude is the correct word for if he was alive.
Ruth, if you're out there watching the show, firstly, hi. And secondly, if you're alive, let us know. Ruth's family, if any of Ruth Maddock's family is watching this show, I'd be fucking surprised. But if they are, and she has sadly passed away since the early part of 2021, let us know the news.
I'd feel pretty shitty if I do a comedy show where what is the most niche joke I could do? Oh, say Ruth Maddock from High to High, and you rang my lord is dead, and then she died, and everybody's like, LJ's to blame because she died. Ooh, I couldn't live with myself. I hope Ruth Maddock is alive.
Yeah, I think we all do. I think everyone who watches this and everyone who, like you and I, was a fan of Heidi High. I wasn't so much of a fan of Yerang Lord. I think it kind of didn't have the same texture. It didn't have the same comic texture.
Did lack the texture. I was a big fan of You Rang My Lord, but what it did not have was texture.
Yeah, because Heidi High had the texture of a university lecturer running a holiday camp. Classic situation comedy situation.
Oh, what a situation. That was, I tell you, that was some situation comedy.
Yeah.
And it had Paul Shane, Jeffrey Holland, Sue Pollard. You cannot top that. What is a sitcom these days? They got this modern Seinfeld. I watched some Seinfeld. Nothing happens. High to high, shit happened. You got to the end of the episode, you went, shit happened. You watched the Seinfeld, nothing.
No, I know. On the buses. I don't know if you got that in the States.
No, we did not, but I did get my dick bit off by a crocodile.
All right. Okay. Right.
You on stage? Get on stage.
I'm in a beer garden.
Online show.
I'm in the beer garden and somebody's come up and oh no, I don't know. I don't stay around here. Okay.
They want a holograph. Give them a holograph.
No, but I tell you what, this shows that this show is actually live, and it actually is coming to you live from a beer garden in a pub in Brighton. An Uber driver has just come up to me with an address and asked me if I know where it is, and I've been in town for 2 hours, so I don't. There you go. Moral of that story is, anyone from Brighton watching tonight, don't get an Uber. For 20,
Also, anybody not from Brighton, don't get an Uber. You probably get fingered.
Yeah, I never get an Uber. And if you're in
Get a
Brighton,
black cab.
Yeah.
You know where your is with the black cabs.
or if you're in Brighton,
Central London is where you is with the black cabs.
you got a turquoise and white cab. That's what you want.
In Brighton, you get the total recall.
Yeah.
Taxi. Oh, it's like I'm in total recall. Take me to Mars, but no, I'm in Brighton.
Because I thought that guy was maybe trying to find out if I wanted to go anywhere. Well, listen, LJ, it's been a joy having you on. Stick around because we've got a couple of games later on, and it is going to be an absolute. Obviously, we're on stage in different parts of Brighton at the same time, but we'll both be doing the Pick of the Fringe.
Sodagar! How dare you show your face, you subhuman piece of shit! Get the fuck out! I'm on now. You come back later, you dumb. I fucked your mother in the anus. Get out of my sight. It was written into my contract I would not have to see Sodagar. I want to speak to the manager.
None of you saw the guy, but I don't know if you saw that encounter when you were backstage, Jay, about the Uber driver.
Yeah.
For a minute, I actually thought it was you.
Under other circumstances, that would be slightly racist. However, Sodagar is open season because he's a bad motherfucker.
No, he's just a guy he was slightly balding.
Slightly, I can see my reflection in Sodagar.
LJ, the only man Dominic Cummings thinks is a bigger prick than he is. Here he is, it's LJ. I missed you, LJ. What have you been doing for the last time?
What have I been doing? I've been having intercourse with your mother, and it was so bad I cried. What have you been doing? You dumb fuck. Wasting your life.
How are you intercourse with your mother?
What's that? Talk louder.
Yeah, your mother is so shit at sex.
My who is so what? Talk loud. I can't even hear you. Is you trying to insult me, Sodagar? Get an education, then insult me. Jesus wept.
How are those open mic gigs? LJ?
You know, I have no idea. I'm too busy headlining the Travel Lodge. The radio don't work. Stuck on a fucking Katie Hopkins phone in all day long. Blitty, blitty, blue.
Yeah.
I hate this country.
Going to watch Loose Women.
I'm sure LJ's mum will tell him about Loose Women. But
you won't. She's dead. Unlike your mother, who's taking up the ass from strangers. Bad enough she's taking up the ass from your daddy.
Well, let's find out. If LJ's mum is still alive, please do let us know in the normal fashion. Shall we move on? We've got another guest to come up. Yeah. And I've got a gig to do.
Let's go on the next guest. A very, very fine guest. We would like to balance the show with a bit of nonsense, but we also balance out with some class. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's bring on a video of our next guest, the one, the only, Robyn Perkins.
Yeah, because I do. I want love. I do. I want it. I want romantic love. And it's fine. It makes audiences very uncomfortable. I think the difference is that I want love, right? I don't need it. I just want it, but I want a lot of things in life that I can say, like I want more money, fine, right? Like I want to fill in the Maldives, great, right? I'll be honest, right now, I could really go for a 6-inch Subway sandwich. And I can say that to you guys without you guys looking at me and like, no, you don't need a sandwich to make you happy. You can be happy on your own. Processed ham won't complete you. I know, I'm complete, all right, guys? Like all my vital organs, and according to my BMI, I'm 7.5 kilos over complete. You guys in love? Yeah, fuck off. Okay.
It is the one, the only, Robyn Perkins.
Hello. Hi.
How are you? How are you, lovely?
I am. I'm not gonna lie. Do you want me to answer that seriously? No, I'm fine. I'm very ill. I'm sick. It's not COVID. I took a test, but I have a cold, and I am not a very good person when I'm sick. I am one of those like woman flu. I'm like, no, I'm not gonna make it. So, you know, I'm okay.
Bless you. I didn't. Thank you for doing the interview and soldiering through and so on and so forth. It's bless you. So yes, you're promoting comedy for the curious, as I can see in the little background.
This is just the permanent backdrop. If I could have sat on the couch, but then you wouldn't be able to see my face. So yeah, this is my comedy for the curious backdrop, which is very exciting. Yeah.
And one of the things we did mention is that I guess we've got LJ who is an American. We have yourself who is an American, and this is the week before 4th of July. A big, I guess a big day. Yes. Did you celebrate the 4th of July big time? Or?
Yes and no. I mean, when I lived in the States, I haven't lived there for 13 years, but when I lived in the States, it was huge, like massive. So you huge celebration. And then since I was here, usually I'm gigging. It's very sad. So we actually, funny enough, I think we might, if we don't switch topics, I'm pretty sure we are doing Comedy for the Curious on the 4th of July and talking about accents with Russell Hicks. So another American.
Lovely, no, lovely. You've been a guest on the show before. I love the show that you did about, was it your brain, the amygdala?
Oh, you just froze for a second. Sorry, what?
Oh, yes, that's just me having a stroke. Sorry, that's not the internet. That is just me having a stroke. No, I was talking about the show you were talking about last time about neuroscience, about the amygdala and all this kind of stuff. I can't wait. Are you doing? Because you did that as a like a weekly like a weekly Zoom kind of gig. Is that correct?
Kind of. So Comedy for the Curious is a weekly show, which is basically, it's on Zoom, although once a month we are live at Angel as well. But it's not just about the amygdala. Basically, I am just a very curious person. I overanalyze everything. And so I've just been in lockdown just reading everything I can. So one week we'll be talking about like where our personality comes from. The next week we're talking about accents, like how people get accents, what that means, accent bias. At this Sunday we're talking about breakups and like what happens when you break up with people. After that, happiness. So the topics are all over the place, but it's every Sunday and there's 2 comedic guests as well. So that's the show.
Lovely. Now, you're also in Brighton this weekend. Is that correct?
Yeah, I am.
Yes.
I'm doing a lot of stuff.
I'm in Brighton.
I know. Oh wow! Do you have a new solo show?
No.
Okay.
I'm doing the Pig of the Fringe. But it's I missed out on the Brighton Fringe just because no one knew what was happening, and then I wasn't quick enough to respond. But I guess Edinburgh, wherever it is, 2022. I will be there. I will be there with a whole brand new show. I've missed stand-up comedy. I really have missed stand-up comedy. And it's a show like this that kind of just keeps my hand in, keeps like me talking. Yes, in 1985. Yes, the material is still relevant. It's still relevant. And those miners. There you go. Yeah. But yes. Was that wasn't the year that Thatcher got blown up? No, that wasn't the year. I don't think. Never mind. In case there was some intimation that I might have been a terrorist. They were a different colour back then. That's what I'm saying. Blessed. But anyway, that could also be comedy for the curious. What makes people want to go off and commit suicide? That would be a show. I don't know
if that's going to be a popular subject, but you know,
my cousin might be interested. I could get him to. Brilliant.
Okay.
So, what are you planning for 2022 Edinburgh?
Yes. So yeah. So the show that I've been doing in Brighton is a brand new show that I have written in lockdown, and that's all about It's a combination. It looks at bi visibility, but also about where our personality comes from as well. So it's kind of looks at competitiveness, bisexuality, and personality. Yeah, it's a brand new show. Been doing it. I've done it 4 times. It's gone well, I guess. I'm sure it'll change a ton before 2022. But the point is that I'm out there with just doing it. So.
Apparently there is some semblance of an Edinburgh Fringe this year. Would you take the show up this year, or you're kind of more hesitant? Because this is the one debate all the comedians are kind of going through, is that whenever you do take a show up to Edinburgh, considering we've all been off for about 2 years, it should be shit hot by the time you sort of like go to Edinburgh finally. But yes, would you like to go to Edinburgh? Were you planning on going to Edinburgh this year?
I mean, I'm not. I don't think I am. I haven't decided. But I'm not going to be taking this solo show. So I'm at the Gilded Balloon, and they have rolled over all the spots to 2022. And so because of distancing, so I'll be going in 2022. I know what you mean about that. It's supposed to be shit hot by the time you bring it up to Edinburgh. I'll be honest. I have written a lot in lockdown. And so it's not that I think if I could fit in about 15, 20 previews between now and Edinburgh, I wouldn't be scared of taking the show up. However, I equally know that with 1 meter distancing, you'd get like 3 people into a room. And I don't know. I'm gonna wait it out. I think. I don't know. I wasn't ready for these kind of questions. These are too hard. I don't know.
It's almost like I'm your agent.
Yeah, I'm like, come on, Dad, stop pressuring me.
And stop drinking. Stop drinking.
It's not even alcohol. I'm so sick right now. Oh my God. I can't even, my sinuses. I feel like I'm going to die. Anyway.
Oh, bless you. You are such a trooper. You really, really are. Listen, stick around. We've got plenty of fun and games to sort of come back on. So let's bring everybody back. Let's do this. So Vlad, and unfortunately LJ would have to sort of come back in at some point. Oh, he's probably pissed off. No, he's here. There he is.
Yeah.
What up, LJ?
Yeah. And we have from the production room backstage, we have a result as to whether Ruth Maddock is alive or dead from the Dead or Kicking website. Yeah. Still alive.
Now,
and when the show goes monthly, we're going to have monthly updates about whether Ruth Maddock is still alive. And I can give you an update from the front garden here of the Ruby pub. There have been no more Uber drivers, but there was a delivery cyclist. It's all go here.
The kind of hip place you hang out at there, Vlad.
Certainly
Kind of hip place you do. So let's do this. So we're gonna first of all let's also talk about donations and so on and so forth. So if the God producers,
in a minute. Yeah,
there it is. There's the donations link. PayPal.me/FreeFest online. I promise you, I absolutely promise all of you is this. It's not going to go into sunglasses. There you go. Cool.
We're losing Jay Sodagar. He cut out.
Yeah.
I know. I love to have the moment that he cut out as well. It was literally like, okay, but what I have to tell you is, so great, Sunglasses Hut, and then that is all I heard.
Anyway, we're going to move on.
Fucking Sodagar begging for money. What a pathetic weasel.
We're going to move on and play a game we played last week. And you two, LJ and Robyn, you've got to guess whether me or Jay is telling the truth or telling a lie, fake or fact, truth or lies. Would I tell the truth to you? Right. Start with me. Right. Fake news or fact? Fake news or fact? I once took part in a half marathon with Jimmy Savile.
Fact.
Would I tell the truth to you?
Fact.
I'd say false. That's a lie.
No, it's true.
It is true. LJ is spot on. I was taking part in the Glasgow half marathon. Jimmy Savile was still alive at the time, obviously.
Unlike Ruth Maddock.
Unlike Ruth Maddock, she never took part in the Glasgow marathon. And Jimmy Savile was alive. He was very old. And I passed him after about 100 meters. And I thought, fucking hell, that's Jimmy Savile. And I kind of upped my pace at that point. I don't want to hang around near him. And he was well into his 80s. He was hardly walking, let alone running, right? So this, for 100 meters, after 3 miles, I passed him again. And I thought, how did that happen? How could he possibly be in front of me? After 5 miles, I passed him for a third time. And this is just unfeasible. How this 85-year-old guy who was out of breath after 100 meters can be in front of me twice. And then round about the halfway point, we were running through a park and I was overtaken by a camper van. And the back door of the camper van opened and Jimmy Savile got out and ran about 50 yards around the course and got back into the camper van again. So basically he was just being driven around the course to where there were TV cameras. So it looked like he was actually taking part in the Glasgow Half Marathon. And you know what? That was well before any of the news came out about him after he died. But I twigged then the guy was a wrong'un.
I only dreamed that I could get to a level of fame that is how I could do a marathon.
Yeah. So, Jay, have you got a true or false story for us?
Yes. So, my turn. So, whether I'm fact or fiction. So, I was in a Bollywood movie. And
Fake.
the opening
Fiction.
weekend. The opening weekend, my face was seen by over 2 billion people on the opening weekend. Fact or fiction?
Well, could be a trick one, couldn't it? Could have been your arse.
Fiction.
Fiction?
Unless you were an extra, and then
Of course, he was an extra. You think he was the star?
I'm saying that's the only way it was true. I'm gonna go fiction.
It was an ass double for Art Malik. I say true because it was an ass double for Art Malik. True, but only on that basis.
I'm going fiction. Fiction.
It is true, but not because I was an ass double for Art Malik.
Thought you was an ass double for Art Malik. You got no talent. He was not in a movie. He was an ass in a movie.
Right, here's a third and final one. My daughter took part in an art heist when she worked behind the bar of a comedy club that used to sell works of art by local artists, some of them quite highly priced. And she got a painting by numbers picture of a horse that she'd done when she was 12 years old, put it in a frame, mounted it on the wall, and sold it for £600.
Fiction. I think it went for 400.
LJ?
I don't wish to speculate on something that could not be Jay Sodagar being a prick. So I have no opinion on that, except while that was happening, elsewhere on the planet, Jay Sodagar was being a prick.
Well, I can tell you, you are right, Robin. It is fiction, but only fiction in the end of the story. She actually did, as a joke, get this painted by numbers of a horse that she did when she was 12 years old, mounted it in a frame, put a £600 price tag next to it. It was at the Stand Comedy Club in Edinburgh, where she used to be one of the bar staff. and she put a £600 price tag on this painted by numbers. And during one of the shows, one of the audience nicked it.
Ah.
So it was on sale for £600, but somebody actually stole it, thinking it was worth £600.
Nice. I love the fact that somebody now has that painting in their house. If only they knew.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, awesome. There you go. So, I guess we're almost going to, Vlad's showtime. So let's do this final round really quickly. So let's do Desert Island Dicks.
Desert Island Dicks.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
The most subtle graphic in online broadcasting.
There's the dick.
Yeah, this is where LJ and Robyn get to rant for a minute each about what really pisses them off. What people piss them off, what things piss them off, what type of people piss them off. So let's go with Robyn first. What really grinds your gears, Robyn?
I'll be honest, being sick. That, like, oh, I am so miserable. Like, I hate it. I can't taste anything, which is like the worst thing in the world because I love food. I have a stuffy nose. Not COVID. Like, trust me, I did a test. It's fine. But when you have snottiness and you're tired and you just want to I hate it. I hate it so much. I just want to go to sleep. And you guys are lovely, but man, this is taking all of the energy in my life to stand here. And that's what really fucks me off, is being sick.
Well, thanks for coming on the show so sick.
I know. I was like, I can't come up with anything better than this because it's all I'm thinking about right now.
Both of us are sick in our own way.
Yeah, well, that's true. That's true. And let's be honest, mine's curable. Jay's is not. So
The color.
it's not. It wasn't a race thing, Jay. It was a personality thing.
This is the only way to win every argument. Just flip it to a race, and I always win. This is how it is.
And finally, LJ Defunct. Who really pisses you off? Who would you want to send to a desert island?
Well, I would not pick the obvious. I tell you who I would put on a desert island is Dan Wooton from the GB News. Dan Wooton from the GB News makes Jay Sodagar look like Roger Federer. I tell you what else I hate about Dan Wooton from the GB News. He's a Kiwi. I like those motherfuckers. They is the nicest motherfuckers I ever met. And he is the biggest prick on the planet. For that reason, I put dumb fuck prick sub Jay Sodagar dick fuck Dan Wooton from the GB News onto a desert island.
Hey. As ever, it's a draw.
I agree. So, plugging time.
Here we are. Final show on our weekly shows. We're back monthly next month. And
Nice.
I have just seen the audience coming out of the gig I'm on. So that means it's the interval around the stage in about 10 minutes. So let's wrap this up.
So, plugging time. So,
LJ, quick plug for your show, Brighton Fringe.
I'm doing a show at the Brighton Fringe, the Quadrant, 7 o'clock tomorrow and Saturday. If any of the 5 viewers of this is in Brighton, I find it unlikely, but if they is, come along.
And Robyn, you're coming down to Brighton over the weekend, is that right?
I am. However, considering the viewers are probably used to watching stuff online, I'm going to plug Comedy for the Curious because it's every Sunday from now until the rest of time at 8:30 p.m. with different topics every week. And it's just a really fun show with a game and a chat and some stand-up comedy and some really interesting comedy. And so it's every Sunday at 8:30 p.m.
Cheers. I'm at the Brighton Fringe tomorrow, Saturday and Sunday with 60 last minutes to save the world. It's at the Carolina Brunswick at 7 p.m. Carolina Brunswick, much nicer place to be at 7 p.m. than the Quadrant, I would say. Maybe not. Maybe not in this place. Listen, guys.
I'm
Thanks.
I'm at Brighton Fringe tomorrow.
Yeah.
doing a-
Nobody wants to see your shit, Sodagar. I have to announce last minute announcement. Ruth Maddock has died. Sad news.
And final plug, if you want to help support the show, that is the no, it isn't. That's
No, it
Robyn
isn't,
Perkins.
there it is.
There we are. Please donate to support the show performers. PayPal.me/FreeFestOnline. Listen, on behalf of myself and Jay, and I'm sure you'll agree, Jay, and the absent, as he often is, Dave Chawner. It has been a joy doing this show every week since November. We're really looking forward to coming back and doing it monthly. A huge, heartfelt thank you to our producer, Alex Petty, without whom, one, this show would never have happened. It's his idea to get it up and running. And secondly, he's kept this whole show on the road together every single Thursday with the technical blitz, with everything going wrong that could possibly go wrong. But bloody hell, if it wasn't for him, it would have been, well, it wouldn't have happened. Thank you, Alex. You're a great mate of all of us here. You've done a sterling job, and look forward to actually seeing you in person in Brighton tomorrow.
Cheers.